Hey, we're back on this week's Garage Talk. We'll talk about where I was last week.
We're gonna look at some stuff going on with NASCAR.
And we got some news and notes throughout the sports world, including a fake news story that went kind of viral on Reddit about retirement for somebody, and more right now. After a week off, we are back with an all new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Flook.
I'm Eric Richardson.
And, well, I was traveling last week, and, one of the places I stopped is on my shirt here. I got to check out the new museum, and it's pretty cool. Uh, they you can still kind of feel the bones of the old museum in there when you walk in, but it's definitely more modern. The old remember you go into the old main area like after you'd go down that hallway and then you go in, you'd in the main, and then they had like kind of the
Yep.
back rooms, and then they'd have like the lower level. That area now is like three floors. So you actually go down a couple steps to the kind of the main floor, and they have like Scott Dixon's 2008 winner, which is the last race I attended on there. They had Dan Weldon's 2011 win car there, and then they had Dario Franchitti's 2012 win car there, which was special because that's the one I bet on in Vegas and almost threw the ticket away after he had his nose destroyed. Had to replace the nose mid-race. Uh, but there's a lot more like interactive stuff. Like there's an area where you could like, practice changing the tire, and they had an iRacing setup where they had like five or six simulators in a row, and you would do a qualifying session. It was set up, and then you did four hot laps basically around the track in the simulator, and it was pretty cool. The coolest thing though is they had these two stations that you would sit down, and they had these screens on there, and you were basically playing the role of race strategist.
Hmm.
And so they'd be this simulated, like you'd sit down, you'd put the headset on, and you'd hear like the driver chatter, and you'd have to make a call like when to pit, when to push. You'd be basically playing race strategist, and you make a bad decision, like you lost five places, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
cool.
do you like jump it, caution, but you're maybe just a little outside the window? Do you pit now and under the caution and then fuel save at the end? So it's pretty cool. It's like kind of a choose your own adventure situation.
I missed being able to see the new museum by about 2 days,
Yeah, it's
and now I don't know when I'll make it.
yeah. So they have a show car like that you can get in, have your picture taken in, and the old show car, you had to like climb up onto the car and climb in. This new one, the front nose of the car is on these rollers. And so instead of like climbing on the car, they like pull the car and it like slides forward, and then you sit down and then they like slide it back in place, and it has like the Java House sponsorship on it and everything. So
I've seen that car. Makes it much easier to get in.
yeah, it certainly does. So but the funniest part is in the back of the museum they have a Roger Penske Wing, because he doesn't own the museum, but he owns everything around the museum. And you go down the Roger Penske Wing, and there's like the Indy Star front page from the day after every one of his wins. Uh-oh, you got some
Yeah, I got a visitor
as
just
I say,
off
you got the
screen
got the
here.
peanut gallery and critiquing our work. But you'd walk down this hallway, and then you go in there, and they had like the fire suits of all the winners and the helmets, and you could still see like the dried on milk on the on some of these suits.
I hope
Uh,
they got rid of the smell.
yeah, well, it's behind glass, so you can't. You'd see they have all the, they had different trophies in there, and then when you walk to the back of this room, there's this display case, and there were 81 rings in this display case. And every single one of those rings belonged to Roger Penske for either a 500 win, a championship, you name it. NASCAR
That's
related stuff.
incredible.
But yes, 81 rings that all belong to Roger that are in this display case. So it was pretty cool. Um, we
When
were
we talk
past,
about winning six is a huge number.
yeah. But yeah, we were passing through. Went to my partner in stadium scene, Kate Thompson, got married finally after she's she was with
Congratulations.
her. Yes, congrats to her. I gave her a lot of grief over it because she has been with her boyfriend. Well, now her husband, I guess, as of last weekend. She's been with her now husband over 10 years and just got married last weekend. So that was a long time. There's questions like, is this ever gonna happen? Like, I mean, from a tax purposes standpoint, you basically are married.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens. I hadn't told my parents for a year until we show up for the Indy 500 and have a friend with me. They're like, "Who is that?" Oh, we've been together for a year.
It's my agent. It's your business manager. So, yep, that's where I was last week. Went, started in Indianapolis, worked my way up to Chicago, got out to Wrigley Field, went to the wedding, and then flew home Sunday morning. And it took me like I'm still not like fully over the multi-time zone traveling, and the kids really struggled going from Pacific time to Eastern time. That was that was the first time they've been on a plane, one, but two, first time they've been like multiple time zone shifts. So yeah, they're
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's the tough one too,
because it's like,
going west to east.
yeah, it sucks because it's like, it's like 11 o'clock, but it's only 8 o'clock on the East Coast time. And then like later in the week they're tired at 9 Eastern. It's like, but it's 6 o'clock. And but it's just the travel wore them out so much that Sunday we get home midday, and they were out by like 7 at night. So anyway, back to the normal grind. Had some NASCAR over the weekend.
Yeah. I have it pulled up here. Actually, one piece of note you'd mentioned came up on Reddit that Richard Childress was looking at an announcement to retire.
Mm,
It
fake
was,
news.
yep, fake news. He saw it and he's like, "No, I'm not going anywhere. That's not accurate."
Oh yeah, so if you didn't see the post on Reddit that I wouldn't say went viral, but picked up some momentum earlier this week, is that a person claiming to be a part of a family business that is a vendor for Childress was claiming that Richard Childress this weekend at the Roval is going to announce his retirement, and all his vendors and partners and drivers and stuff. They're going to have a huge ceremony for it, and claim they got an invitation to this retirement party. And so all this momentum started, and people are like, it's not that I don't believe you, but I don't believe you. And they're talking about like, what punishment should there be for this person if he or she is lying. And they're talking about Halloween costumes. And what was the one that was funny? Oh, they said that you should have to go as Carson Ware with the face tattoos, which, and they can't be temporary. Apparently he had them removed recently, but that's quite a punishment. Get face tattoos for lying on Reddit, which
Doesn't everybody lie on Reddit?
I think everybody lies on Reddit. Yeah.
So yeah, that's fake news.
Fake
Okay.
news. Richard Childress. I mean, Richard Childress is not a young guy. I mean, you look, we've talked about this before. Penske's like 80s, 86, 87. Rick Hendrick is like the youngest of that group, and he's what, 78, 79, something like that.
Yeah.
Childress is in his early 80s. Joe Gibbs is in his 80s. I mean, Jack Roush has kind of been out of the day to day, but yeah, he's 83.
It's not a young crew. Justin
No.
Marks, I'm pretty sure, is youngest.
Well, technically, who's younger, Justin Marks or Denny Hamlin? Justin Marks
Um,
is pretty young.
yeah, I guess Denny would be in there. You forget that, wait, he's a
Just
driver, but
Justin
at
Marks is
Gibbs, but owner
44.
at 2311. I think Denny's a year older than.
Yeah, I think
Isn't
Hamlin's
he
like
45?
no, they're both they're both 44, but Denny's turning 45 this year. So he's
Okay.
slightly older. Oh man.
It's hard to believe Denny's that old.
I think still kind of the surreal one is that Michael Jordan is 60.
Yeah.
It's just like you know I was at my parents' house and found a ticket stub. I went and I saw the Pacers and the Bulls play, and it was 1991 at the old Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, and I did well on my report card, so my parents were as the reward for the report card was to take me to go see the Bulls play when they came to Indianapolis, so I could see Michael Jordan play. And the list price on the ticket stub, this was like an upper deck seat at the old Market Square Arena, which is a small place, but the ticket stub price was $5.
That's crazy.
My dad bought it from a scalper for like $25, which is still like
Still,
20
that same ticket's going to be
$25 to get
$75
into it.
now.
Yeah, that was like nothing back then. So, yeah, prime entering his prime Michael Jordan for 25 bucks.
That's not bad.
That was quite a deal looking back.
It's one of those that may not be the deal then, but looking now, it's like I got to see Jordan play. That's a huge deal.
I have seen both Jordan and LeBron play in person. Which LeBron was I sat 10 rows off the floor in Oklahoma City several years ago. He was with Cleveland. It was right after they won, and I bought. It was a nationally televised game, and LeBron was planning on sitting out, the load management crap that they were going through in the NBA at that time, and LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love are all going to sit that one out, and the NBA is like, no, no, you are
It's
not.
such a joke. Back in the
It,
90s, like they were playing game after game and knocking each other around.
yeah, it's funny though. Like you look at the they compare these old like baseball stats too, especially with pitchers. And yeah, it's like here's Nolan Ryan who pitched, Nolan Ryan threw 212 pitches in 10 innings, which you would never see
No.
anything close to that to this day. But it's like you also look at you look at some of these pitchers from like the 70s and 80s, and they were not the greatest of shape athletes. You look at the guys now, and they're like 3% fat. It's very like there's no fat. Now, that might be part of the reason why there's so many arm troubles because they're so lean. I mean, I'm not a you know scientist, physical therapist, or anything like that, but
Well, and what they're doing with like putting the spin on the ball and their angle of attacks on the throw.
I mean, Nolan Ryan just threw hard.
Yeah.
He's like 44 years old and still throwing like upper 90s, not, nearly as long as when he was younger, but yeah, you see like these movements with these guys and they're going like this. Like that is not a natural arm movement and you do that a
And that's a
hundred
lot of it.
times.
They're just throwing so much different than they used to. That's why you're seeing almost every pitcher, it seems like going through a Tommy John at some point.
Ugh, man, that just hurt going like this, but I'm also
You
over
mentioned
this.
basketball and Pacers. I remember still the one game that we went to watch a guy run the floor
Yeah.
and Jeff Foster trips him.
Stuck his foot up. He just casually kind of stuck his foot backwards and tripped the guy. That was hilarious.
Then we were sitting what, like row eight, center court, so we heard the thud.
Then everybody just security like they couldn't catch the guy. Like he wasn't even running that hard. He was just kind of zigzagging between the players. The players are like, I'm not
Then he like
touching that.
tries to jump up and touch the net and
Yeah,
like missed. Then they carry him off by his belt. So
classic.
funny.
They're playing the Washington Wizards that game.
think I may have to try to catch the Pacers when we come down here to the Magic.
The Kia Center.
Yep. Used to be Amway, but now Kia.
I went to a, I went to a Suns game last year. I don't even remember who they played. That's gonna bug me. Oh well. Yeah. So how about that finish last Sunday? That
Yeah, a lot of question marks on that too. And once again, I can't stand the driver on Sunday, but come Monday, it's like I wholly agree with you. 'Cause people are like, your driver flipped you off. It's like,
and called you some. Yeah, your own driver called you some names.
yeah, on Sunday, we're drivers, and I'm trying to get Joe Gibbs into a spot. That's a competitor.
It
Monday
still
through
is.
Saturday, I'm his owner.
It still is weird. It is a weird arrangement that you're driving for one team, but you co-own another team.
Yeah, it's not like RFK where Keselowski is running
Yep.
with his team.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin runs with Joe Gibbs Racing, and they have their own set of goals. Yet he owns 2311 with Michael Jordan, of course, and they have their own set of goals.
Yeah, I mean, and they also have like a technical alliance. Like we've seen it before, or when we
Hmm.
gave away Tyler Reddick's Fender, that had a JGR inventory stamp on the inside of it. So it's like they're getting their stuff from JGR. Like not really too much of a surprise there, but
And really, all that is that last turn, Denny's going for a win. He drove it in too deep and washed up.
then
But
came down and bounced off of Chase Elliott as he's trying to fight his way through there.
yeah, and Chase is like, I'm going to door you. I'm not going to let you just
That was
close me out. But if you look earlier, Wallace got into Bell,
he
which
did.
is Hamlin's teammate.
And they left Reddick out to dry. That caution and that restart was set up because John Hunter Nemechek. Yeah, that was the John Hunter. Wait, was it?
I did see that Nemechek was like, that accident was bad and unacceptable on my part, and I need to be better. I feel
Yeah,
like every race, Nemechek is involved in something.
it seems that way. I mean, sometimes like you're just there's points where it's just like you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it just seems like he's in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot.
There's some that he can't avoid, like it's just there and it's going to happen. But I've seen several where it's like, wait, who's the car that got into it at the very end? Like after it was
Mm,
already done.
John
Oh,
Hunter.
we know who that was.
But how about that? Zane Smith turned on his side, just riding the wall.
Yeah, it's what Ian Miller tried to do at what Auto Club last season, wasn't
Yeah, except he drove the fence.
it? Yeah, it's not one you see all the time. It's happened what, three times here recently? What, 2008, 2016 or something?
Yeah.
It's been a while, but
And the one was also the 38 that was turned on its side on the twice now the 38 has been turned on its side. But yeah, how about Chase Elliott? Like even coming into turn three, he was kind of back there
he was
where
not in contention to win. Then
I
Toyota does their thing and somehow what, four or five cars up front and they
could
don't
you,
win it.
could you imagine if let's Toyota was just looked completely chaotic on that and you have like five Toyotas in the front and don't win on that restart. And could with all the organization with Chevy and we've seen over the years the controversy with Chevy and
The Chevy Mafia.
the Chevy mafia calling the shots. Could you imagine if the roles were reversed and you had five Chevys up there and then a Toyota wins? It,
Somebody'd be losing a drive, especially in the playoffs.
it's the first comment I saw after that race was over as well. It's pretty clear there's no standing team orders at Toyota,
Oh, and we only have one race left for the cutoff now, too,
and it's the dreaded Roval.
which Chevy typically can run at.
Yeah, yes, they can.
So it'll be fun to see. It could change up the who gets through and who doesn't.
The Chevy announced this week that they're going to be redesigning, or I guess they're going to release a redesign for the. Is it
Mhm.
officially announced, or is it rumors of the redesign for the car?
I thought I saw what was gonna be done. Maybe what I saw was still just the rumor side of it.
I can never tell anymore, but it sounded like this was pretty concrete that this was happening. So, but no details on what it's going to look like. If we're going to have the Chevrolet or the Chevy Chevrolet. Gonna sneeze here, I think.
Yeah,
Sneeze
the
button.
Chevy Chevrolet would be the hilarious car. The Chevrolet Chevy doesn't have the same ring that way though.
You know what they should do is like they talked about someone's like, oh, they should have like a concept car that they don't sell and use that concept car as the branding for the cup car. And it's like they should pick like the most obscure previously used model name.
Bring back the Malibu.
I was about to say the bring back like the Chevy Nova, the Chevette.
Man.
My parents used to own a Chevette. Actually, it was my mom's first car was a Chevette, which is like, if you look at like the top 10 worst cars ever released in the US ever made, the Chevette is always in that top 10 list. My mom, when she was going to buy a car, this was like late 70s, early 80s, probably around 1980, 81 at this point. So she's going to buy a new car, her first new car, and she was looking at buying a Camaro, actually. 22-year-old, 23-year-old, let's buy a Camaro. And her dad and brother talked her out of it. And she walked away with the Chevette instead. And if you don't aren't familiar with the Chevette, it was like basically a large riding lawnmower engine in there. I want to say the car's like official stat was like 35 horsepower or something like that. But that car after a while, I mean, they kept it for like 10 or 12 years. Like I was a kid when they finally got rid of this thing, but it had a hole in the floor on the driver's side by the time they got rid of it. That like the hole rusted through.
So
The
I'm gonna need
gat
to take a quick TV timeout
TV
here.
timeout. So same before the timeout, we with the Chevette, the gas gauge stopped working after a few years, so they had to write down like the mileage of when you filled up and like, keep that on an index card because it was like a the repair was more than the value of the car. Anyway, so wrapping up here, Formula One is back this week. Singapore, the only track on the schedule Max has not won at, which is really wild.
If he wins, he could have every track in a calendar year.
Yes, yeah, he could. So NASCAR, as we mentioned, is heading to the Roval, and we didn't really get into our iRacing talk this week with well, yeah, I don't want to talk about Tuesday. Actually, I don't want to talk about Tuesday, and neither do you. And
Oh,
I don't want to talk about Wednesday either. But you had a pretty solid run out there.
yeah, Roval wasn't too bad. Tuesday, I was solid, but just unlucky.
Is Yeah, I had an internet disconnect, which didn't help things, and a video that is now on social media of I tried to limp my way back to the pit after a wreck, and I couldn't turn my steering was broken. So I was like trying to bounce off the wall to get myself into my pit box, and I couldn't. And then I found a wonderful glitch in iRacing that if you're in your pit box, you can't tow. But I couldn't do a pit stop because I was at the wrong angle. So I'm like, I had to disconnect from the session and come back, and
Oh,
uh, and then I got an internet. I got hit on the internet thing where it black flagged me and it gave me a 3 minute tow penalty for the internet connection, which I think was related to disconnecting and reconnecting because after that it was fine, but it sucked. Uh,
probably that penalty for what happened in the endurance race.
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up today, and
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be the crash of the week, so you'll see why I was frustrated
yeah, oh
on
yeah,
Tuesday.
that's I got that already. All that footage saved. That will be the crash of the week for sure. So check that out on Sunday. And
Yeah,
oh,
apologies for the weird show. I have a crazy child right now.
And congratulations to Chris Fuge, who won the bottom split racing series of
Yeah.
season one. All he had to do was take the green flag on Monday night, and he did that. He hung around mid pack the whole race. He's like, all right, this is mine.
Yeah, it looked like a good solid season. I think drivers had a lot of fun, so it
It
was great
was.
to see.
I mean, we basically took the ARCA official series model and turned that into a broadcasted league, and left the toxicity of the official series behind. And I think overall it went very well. I mean, there's a few things I think we can tweak on it, but you're keeping it 20, 25 minutes like the official ARCA series, and put a broadcast on it, and I think it was a lot of fun.
Overall, I think it was a great first season.
It was. I completely agree. And we'll tweak it. We'll figure out how we're going to do this schedule wise next year. But yeah, we're getting close to the end of the iRacing season here in a
Yeah, we
month.
have two more left on Indy and what, four races on Wednesday night dash?
Yep. And then we'll have the fun race. We got one more GT race in early November. And uh-oh.
Oh, the bull?
On that note, frracingonline.com, at frracingonline, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Take care.